Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of SnowFool here in City Skylines. Well, last episode guys, we did some beautiful expansions. We built the brand new stadium within our little train loop. We've added even more residents than ever before. And I don't know if you guys remember, but remember we placed a water source down to see if we can kind of trickle some water down the hill to kind of, in the future, maybe build some type of a dam. Well, we have a little bit of a problem. I think the water source that I placed down contains a little bit too much water because we're now about to experience a tsunami within SnowFool. So we kind of need to fix that. Just saying. But before we do fix that, I just want to say we are going to be also planning our brand new industry as well. So if you are excited and are enjoying the series so far, then make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you do not miss an episode. And smash the like button down below too. And subscribe and like and subscribe and all that jazz. I don't know what's going on anymore, boys, but we are back. Boom. So, this is the problem we've got. It's flooding. It's flooding the elevated highway. It's going to get a little bit too ridiculous, and we're going to cut straight in down to here, which I wanted it to trickle down through the river, but this is way too much water. So I'm going to get rid of the water source and let it kind of naturally just like let it disperse itself. This is probably not a good idea. And what I'll do, once it's all gone, I'll replace down where the water sources should have been. And we'll do it with such a small amount of water that it will trickle down. Because I don't know if you can't even tell right now, but there's like a little bit of a riverbed that goes here. It's completely over the top of it. Oh, that's not a good idea, is it? That is definitely not good. So we've definitely caused some flooding. GG, everybody. GG. I'm blaming you, not me. You're typical, Soniac. Typical right now. So what I'll quickly do is just kind of save just save the city slightly. And I'll place a big canal just here. It's probably going to get filled up from over there. But place a big canal down just there. So all the water will seep into that and hopefully... you know, this is a bad idea, isn't it? Anywho, so welcome back to another episode, guys. So today, then, I want to build a brand new industry, and I gave you the option, guys, whether I should build the forestry, the farming, or the fishing. A lot of you guys want the forestry, so I thought, you know what? We'll save this location just here for a nice little forestry. We have no trees, so it's something that we are going to have to place in ourselves. Not a problemo, boys. Not a problem at all. And to be able to access this area, I'm going to try and hook up this road over the highway, do it on and off ramp, so we got a decent connection there. I also need to extend the train line, which goes under here and stops all the way up this way, which will be our train connection for that industry. But at the same time, we're getting quite a few vehicles coming to the shipping area over here, because I've just realized we don't have enough cargo train areas situated around this place. We've only really got this one. I mean, they can drive to the warehouses, but that's the only one, so we need to dot a few more around. So rather than driving straight to here, they drive to, say, like a local train cargo station, and then they train it to where they need to get to. That's what we kind of need to do. Now, we've got some serious flooding, boys. We've got some serious flooding issues right now, and it might be a case of where your boy needs to take some drastic measures right now in implementing a few more canals. Now, I like to do this as a way to kind of soak up the overspill. But then we are going to have to wait for it to all evaporate. This was a bad idea. Whose idea was this? Whose idea was this right now? You damn fools. Do not let your boy play with water, okay, guys? Do not let your boy play. I mean, I could reset to sea level, but I don't want to ruin any of the water anywhere else. We'll get this all sorted. Don't worry, boys. Don't worry right now. We've got plenty of locations here to place down these canal systems. I'm gonna run one in the riverbed as well. That will suck up a lot of the water. Anyway. Anywho, so yeah, forestry is going to be over here then, and we need to kind of do a couple of things. So I'm going to bring the road over on and off ramps. That train line is going to continue to go through, which I'm thinking about building some type of a train yard around here, just so it can be accessed for a lot of these fools on this side. Maybe this side of the road. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And obviously we'll have good access then for the forestry area with our train line. So I might not be able to build the forestry today, but I'll definitely be able to get a lot of the infrastructure all in place. So this highway is not particularly straight. It's on a slight consistent bend. So we got to have that and keep that into our minds right now. So if I'm going to go up here, we'll do a 10 by 12. So 12 by 10, sorry. 12 by 10. Up and over. And then do a 12 there. Down by the 10. I like to do 12 because at a length of 10, it's the kind of the shortest one you can go for before it then kind of starts to slightly mess up a little bit. But that leads into this area, and that is going to be one of the main roads that brings us into here. But obviously we're going to have trains and stuff, so that will really help us out. Right, keeping an eye on the flooding. It's kind of seemed to settle down a bit, so that's really good. There's a little bit less water coming through. Again, really good. I think we might have saved ourselves slightly. Right, train lines then. Let's bring this train line through. So the train... Oh, sorry. I thought the train line went this way. It actually comes from over here. Okay, that's even more interesting. So bringing this all the way up. So keeping it in a straight line. All the way through just there. Which is actually perfect then, because I can even like V here and create a train yard there, but I'm going to create the train yard on this side. So that gives us greater control with how we want to build this area, which is perfect. So I kind of need to do a couple of things. I need to create like a train yard or something import-export area around here that we can really heavy utilize it. And we'll try and create multiple connections from over there with this normal road and connect to the 4-lane road. So they're all funneling over this kind of passover route. You know what I mean? So we've got to now get this all set up then. So we'll use our rural roads. And we need to now create the kind of on and off ramps for this area. Now the problem we're going to have is because it's technically on a complete and utter bend. So I don't know whether to slightly delete it to have a bit straight so we can work a little bit easier with this highway. I think that will be the case. So if I delete here and then go to just there. And let me just delete all of this as well. And then we'll replace it down, but it'll be a better aligned. So we have a little bit more greater kind of control over the area. So to the ground floor level. And that is our middle point here. So if I use the middle point, again, that'll be another way in which we can kind of tackle this a little bit better. So highway, going that way, going that way. So if I just run this all the way through. Now, is that the kind of gap that I want? I mean, I can always move it over. It's not a problem. Maybe it's a little bit too wide for what I want. Alright, delete all this. Because it's going to be going on a nice little harsh bend. Yeah, it's a little bit too much for what I want. So, what I'll do... No, do you know what? We'll keep it like that for there. We'll keep it like that for there. That'll be part of the charm of the area. Because I can put some trees down if I really wanted to. Who knows? Who knows? Right. Let me delete this here and here. So, it's pretty even, both sides. Now, we have to do this raw road. And then we have to then switch it over to something else after. But if I come out by a 10 on both sides. So, we're quite far away on this. So, this is going to be quite a wide... on and off ramp, because I'm trying... Oh snap, I'm flooding my airport. Oh my goodness me, I didn't realise what was going on. I didn't realise what was going on here. Holy moly. I did not realise. Are we flooding over here? Nowhere else we're kind of flooding right now. I didn't realise the airport was flooding. Holy moly. Right, that should solve it. Oh god. I'm sorry, airport. I'm so sorry. I'm getting so sidetracked right now. So what I'm trying to replicate right now is pretty much this over here. Now, we've gone a lot wider than we need to, which I don't think I like the idea of that, to be honest with you. So if I come in by a... Oh, no, that's a 6. I was going to say, let's come in by a... But then again, the wider it is, the more space the traffic's got. So it's not the worst idea, but then that's going to be then kind of tackled down to a single lane road. So yeah. Right, if I now do this, little diagonals. And then we'll put a little bit of a bend on them. So it seems a little bit OTT. But this will be pretty good. So we'll come out by another 10. And then we'll run with it where we need to go. So quite dramatic. But this will be pretty sweet, baby. This will be pretty sweet. Now we're going to use the connection tool here to do the rest of the work for us. So put it back into pause. There to there. And then pull it on a maximum bend. Which is just there. Obviously make sure it sticks to the ground. And boom. Now apply the same logic going the opposite way. Oh, I think I've just put the road the wrong way around on the other side. Alright, bam, 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 bam. See, I don't mind the split there. I can place in some nice trees and really, really make this area look pretty cool. So, flip this all around on this side. Very good, very good. Now, this one we're going to push back ever so slightly. Well, to be honest with you, it's going to be a little bit messed up because until I do this one, we're just going to kind of leave it like that. So what we'll do, we'll just run this and kind of let it complete itself until we sort the rest of it all out. But let's upgrade all of this. There we go. We're going to elevate... Oh, actually, we're going to upgrade and elevate all of that. And... boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. So we've got these little bends here. So what would be the best way to kind of complete these? So is it a case I bend you out to bend you slightly in? So we create like a little bit of a knuckle? Oh, I don't know if I like the idea of that, to be honest with you. That's where I'm thinking like these are too far back. You know what I mean? So if I went and did it, let's say, there, and did the same thing here. Now they're even both sides. Then we connect in. It's probably the better way to do this, isn't it? Just a tad bit closer. A tad bit closer. You get away with it then. So we shouldn't have like a little node in them. So I can then literally bend them out. See, that's better. Where you have to sacrifice in some areas, you're just going to have to suck it up in other areas. Right. There we go. Magic. Magical. So we'll sort the rest of that out and how that kind of aligns when I get disconnected. Hopefully we'll probably bend this to align it better to that road there. We're slightly flooding there, which is kind of okay. We'll get away with that as well. So, should be pretty interesting. Right. Even when the water's kind of slightly settled down, I'm going to have to wait for it to evaporate from the canals there before I can delete the canals. That's kind of funny. Anywho, right, we've got this leading over right now. That's all leading over. Put into play mode. It's all going to work, apart from the lane stuff. So let's quickly sort that out. So, lane management. Bam, bam, bam. So we'll only do it there. I won't mess around with anything else just yet because we're not going to really see too much traffic until we start really building with the forestry area. Now, the train line itself, I can see the bump just there. That's where it's sticking up to, isn't it? Hold on. Yeah. We'll try and figure out real quick then where we can run in. Actually, do you know what? There's not really any point. Not until we kind of think about working with this area. Now, I don't want it to be used by the forestry industry, but I also want it to be kind of a main point for a lot of the kind of goods coming in and out of this area in general. But then again, we can have all the stuff for the train stuff on the edge. Oh, I can actually run a boat down here as well, couldn't I? For cargo. Oh, the possibilities are endless here. The possibilities are endless. Okay. Okay, we can pretty much go anywhere with this. So, I don't want to put it on here though, because I feel like it would just cause too much traffic. That, Oh, do you know what I could have? Even though this has got the roundabout here, I could either connect this to the highway or just have this as an overpass in its entirety. Maybe. Right, anyway, let's get this all sorted anyway. So that's a 10. That's an 11. If I run this up from there to a... is it a 22? No, we'll do a 30. A 30 is reasonable. It's enough spacing to kind of work with for traffic-wise. Coming leading down there. So into there, and what we'll do is I'll throw a nice little 10 by 10 bend on it. Now we're running parallel not with the highway but with the road is what we're doing. So there are 30 there, and this area here we're going to try and build in within it. So come out by a 40. Is it a 30 or a 40? It'll be a 40 because of our 10 by 10. That area there is going to be a nice little train yard and a little cargo area. Just for the generic industry that's kind of needing the goods being imported and exported. Okay? And we'll also try and hook up those roads there to this road that's going to overpass as well. So that will kind of leave this area over here pretty much free for us to then work with. So let's try and get this road here to bend in as we try and parallel the industry along this way. So we'll use a normal rural road. It's my favourite road, this. I don't know why, but it just seems to be my favourite road. And if we go for a 160 like that, that road there is now going to determine the whole entirety of how this is all going to work. So levels are completely out. So we select the node here and bring this down to what will be considered a reasonable level for this. I do the same thing just here, bring that slightly down-ish. There's all okay, and then if I use my alignment tool, it should all come together. Bam. Look at that. And an alignment up to here. Well, bam. Oh, that didn't work out very well. I think there's a bigger dip than you realise in this area. I think there slightly is. There slightly is. Right, there to there. And then there to here. Right, there you go. Road drops off here and there and everywhere. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Our 4-lane road will then pick an area, let's say... I'll get rid of you. Let's say if I went here to there. And then get this to snap and bend in. I'm not quite sure what that bend would be. So a 9 by 9 and in. Okay, that's perfect. So that leads down to there then. And we will have many little turn-offs in all different areas to kind of access places. And we are going to have to build a big forest. Now, this road won't probably stay straight. It'll probably conturb and bend as we go along. So... we'll mess around with that as we add more and more stuff in. If our train line is coming through here, we're going to bend it down. We're also going to need some type of import and export area within this as well. Now, let me first set up on the old rural, baby. On the old rural. So, if I come out by an 11, running down to here is a 54. So, a 43 is our... Oh, no. Okay, that didn't work out very well, did it? Oh, no, that is 11. Oh, no, it doesn't need to be 11 on this. I just remembered because it's not a 4-lane road. Well, I'm so used to doing 11s right now. I'm so used to doing 11s. Right, bring that down to about there. That's all good. So, we connect down to there, which we're not too close to it. We'll connect just there. So, that's a 20 away. And that there is a 20 away as well. Just not causing too much traffic on the junction. That's the kind of the main aim of all of this. Okay. So down to here, so that down there is a 32, so we're up to 22. And if I just do a 20 and back in just there so we know where we're connecting. So it just helps us ever so slightly with not overloading junctions too much, and everywhere's got a kind of a section where we can kind of connect. Should all work out. So that's going to bend in down to here, and we might have something that eventually goes this way as well. So that there is a 20. I reckon we're going to do another 10. So now I've spaced it out by a 30. And then we'll kind of utilize this area as some type of a import-export. So if I bring this up by a 30. Do I do it here or do it here? I think I'll do it here. So bring this up by a 30. And I'm going to go for a nice little 5 by 5 bend. 5 by 5 bend. Bring it down by 50. Oh no, that's wrong. Alright, down by a 15. Now, is that too close to cause too many problems for that junction? The answer is probably yes. So if I do another 5 and then do a 5... Oh, no. Sorry, I didn't need to do that additional 5. Right, so we'll do a 10 by 10. A 10 by 10. I'll extend this up a little bit more. So we'll go to here. And we'll do a 5 by 5, 5 by 5. And then straight down. So the cargo area drops itself. This is the cargo train. Yeah, cargo train terminal. Pretty much just here. I could put it on the inside, to be honest with you, and let the train then go underground. I could whack it like here. Or there. I'll pull it this side just down here. There we go. Just give the train a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing space. And it's a loop that you can only enter from here and here. And then I'll also apply one down on this side as well. We'll also have what's over here as well, but obviously this will be the shorter route for a lot of it. So the only way to access down here, you got to come all the way in. I don't think we'll have an additional kind of entry point. This will kind of run around it and kind of connect in. Because obviously I don't want to create too much of a shortcut route to access that area. So that's the beginning of it. That is going to be the beginning of this industrial area right now. And it should work out fairly well. I'm quite excited to see how this is going to turn out. So we'll at least place down our main building. We'll at least get that in. Alright, how big is the main building? Because some of these are quite big. That is a big one. Okay. That is quite large. Right, that's where the bend... Do you know what? I am going to connect these up. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I suppose the more input area is and export areas, the better in reality, isn't it? So it will work out for the greater good. It will work out for the greater good. So where's that? So that there is a 19. So if I go by a 9, I'm creating a 10 by 10 bend. Is it silly of me to connect it straight in like that? Maybe. Maybe. Where does the bend stop? The bend stops just there. Is it too much to ask for a kind of connection here? I mean, it works. Don't get me wrong, it works. But I don't know how I feel about this. So, leading this out a bit more. Because all this is going to be all now intertwined and stuff like that. So, leading you out. So that there is a 35. Yeah, we'll do a T. And then we'll build our main building within this generic area here. So it's a decently sized building itself. So if I come out, let's say I came out just here with this. With a 5. No, we'll go by a 10. And then stick out by a 5 on both sides. It's almost like the end cul-de-sac of this main building. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The main building right now overlooking its industry. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then I believe the worker barracks are also just as big, aren't they? Yeah. Oh, they're huge. They're even bigger. They're even bigger right now. So industry area, which is this one here, right? Yeah. Now, this is all set up for forest area in general anyway. It's just there's no trees. So I don't know how it's dark green for forest. I don't know how that technically works when there's no trees. Because normally you got to put down the forest, the trees to create a forest area. So, bit of a weird one. Bit of a weird one. Unless the flooding... No, the flooding didn't even come up to it, did it? No. No. Interesting one. But we will get trees in, don't worry. We will get trees in eventually. So that all leads in right now. Has the flooding died down? The flooding has died down. Canals where there's no water in will start deleting. Can't delete those just yet. The water is now vacant. So I reckon I can start deleting these because it will kind of return itself to the water. And then we'll delete the rest after. That's what I originally wanted to run through, these little nooks and crannies. But we're going to have to make it a smaller water source. Is what we're going to have to get done. So are they utilising this, by the way? They are. A little bit of traffic on it right now, which is understandable. But they are utilising all of that. So, yes, not bad. Where am I connecting this highway up as well, by the way? That's a great point. Is the highway going to bend round here? Oh, maybe I've got to do something with all of this. Maybe I have to try and integrate this road. Maybe this road can kind of have a connection just here and then the highway trumpets in. Ideas. I'm getting sidetracked with so many ideas right now. I am getting slightly sidetracked. So this is a good little system. This is a great way to start this industry area. So let's get the train line hooked up to all of this. So bring this out by a 12 to drop it by a 10 is what we're going to do. So obviously as a tunnel. 12, there we go. Keeping that straight. So we're going to keep it somewhat straight-ish. Because you just never know how you want to connect off it. You know what I mean? Delete you back there. And then we should have a nice simple bend into it. So a 16 by a 10. Doesn't really matter. That will then work. What's going on here, boys? Oh no, it's all on the ground. Sweet. So that's now connected to the main train line. But there's a lot more stuff we obviously need to get done for it. Now, I want to create like a little bit of a train yard just here as well. Now, I don't want to do it like this where they're all next to one another. I kind of want to set it up something like that, but probably more like this one here. That's probably the better way that I want to do it. It's a shame you just can't simply clone as easy. Now, that there is a 15. So we know we're on a 15 mark. So how far does this kind of stick out by? So that there is a 40. Wow. I only need this space. Believe it or not. So if I just kind of what's that drop down? That's a 20. So if I just kind of cut across there and I utilize the center point, I can't really utilize the center point because the way that it all kind of connects in. So if I drop you in just there, boys. Warehouses, the one with the trains. Now I need it to go. So if I placed you in like that, yeah, that is the one I need. But it needs to go further back. So maybe I do need to delete this road. And then just go to where it connects just there. Is that a good idea or not? I don't know. Alright, move you back. Just to there. And then that other point, which will be the middle one just here. Well, the other road is there. But obviously we can't connect that one as easily. Because the orientation of where the train track comes out, you can't flip it around. But then again, there's nothing stopping me technically doing it like this. And then just bringing all the train lines together. There is nothing stopping me doing that. But now I lose the ability of where I want to run the normal train station. But that still works. That is still going to work. So if I unhook all of that. So unhook the train line. Delete it. So then I can pretty much come straight out rather than the little kind of slight there. So we're going to have to bring all these together. So what I reckon we do is obviously we're going to try and simulate some type of a train trek. But also the only problem we got is we have to, the road needs to cross at some point. Now here we did it where we elevated it up and over, and it worked out really well. Over here, the road went underground, okay, and then down here, the road went over it. So it has to go over it at some point anyway. So I reckon we build the train lines, and then we'll kind of decide where everything goes after. So if I bring this out by a 20 just here, it'll be nice to utilize this one as the main run of train line. So that's going to connect into there, to where we'll have that connect into there. So how does a connection work on this? So do I go for its maximum or just let it run like that? That's fine, right? That's fine. Bam, 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 bam. But obviously, we've got this one over here, which is a little bit too far away at the moment. So it's a case of, is this one worth... Well, it's not worth anything really, but this is going to be the widest bend out of all of it. Alright, minus, 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 minus. Right, do you reckon we'll get away with... like that? Yes. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So what we do is we delete you, and we first bring you in by a 6, you in by a 6, extend that down by a 10, bring you in by a 6. Now all of a sudden those lines are all linked on the 1, which is perfect. Now for a little bit of aesthetics, if that's what you want to call it, right, we'll run some additional lines here and there, like that, and then we'll try and mimic some of the bends, but we got to elevate the road right now to bring it up and over. Otherwise it's just a complete and a dead end. So we'll go up by a 10 and then raise it up by a 10. I'll bring it all the way over to this road here and then directly down. Now we'll elevate and make the gradient a lot longer. So we'll elevate all of these. Bring you up. Bring you up. Bring you up. And then with the power invested in your boy right now, we gradient these. It's a 9% gradient. How crazy is that? That's an 8. Oh. Oh no. I've done the wrong one. You and you. There we go. So the gradient should get slightly smaller as we go in slightly more and more uphill. Right, we didn't actually upgrade that one there, did we? Right, that will work out. That will work out. Whoa, it is slightly on an angle, isn't it? Right, don't worry too much about that. So that is for this whole area here. So after that there, right, what we'll do then is we'll also... Does this one really need to be in the air? Thinking about it. Because after that point there, that can come straight down. So I can keep this one on the ground. So, right. If I went from here to here. And then we're back to normal. We're back to normal, right? So then I just slightly drop this one here down. Right, there we go. Perfect. So it's probably the same with this one as well. I don't need this one in the air. Yeah, I don't need this one in the air. So... bringing you straight down. Right, get this normal. There we go. And then slightly bring it down. There we go. So up and over, Pepsi Cola does what it needs to do. Sweet. So how far are we off with this train line then? Where does the train line... Ooh, okay. It's a little bit closer than you maybe would have liked it. But that's still fine because I can do magic. You know, you're forgetting your boy's slightly magic right now. So what we can do is we can kind of pass it over to here. And then we kind of make it do a 10 by 10. Right, and then we do another 10 by 10. But here, right, we bring it down to a where it doesn't technically... Well, it will kind of have to. I don't know whether to do it by a 7 to watch it slowly gradient down. So if I go from there to, say, here, so watch it slowly carve itself in, and maybe either connect it now in a tunnel or slightly uncover the train line here. But how do I do that where I'm able to see it? How do I get into underground mode? And to be able to see the train line. Right, let me just connect it first. Oh, we have to go further back. Hold on, we got to actually technically go further back. Or do I do it that way instead? Bring it round and then V it. Yeah, I'm going to do it here instead. So if I went... If I just went here, where's the 21? Oh, it's too long. There. 21. 21. And then out. And then if I used the connection tool... there to there, and this went for a slightly larger loop just for the fun of it, but then I do it to where we can kind of semi-see it. So keep pushing this back. We're going to landscape it. And I reckon we just do it like there. We'll do one more and then one more like that. Just for the aesthetics of it. That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. So if I went from here to then, say, here, and just sort out the gradients. So from there to there, to there, to there, sort out the gradients, and then all this should then fall into place. So it might be on a... Oh, it's actually quite on a harsh incline, isn't it? So if I go right round to there, so it is quite a harsh incline, so this is going to have to dig in a little bit deeper. But this is where the terraining comes into play. Right, this is where the magic now happens. So back to terraining then. We will first start with the smoothing. Actually, we'll pause the whole thing because it's like easier to do. So smoothing the big round bit here. So I'm back to creating train loops again, boys. Your boy's back to creating train loops, where we're gonna have to take a big chunk of this mountain off. So brush size a little bit bigger. There we go. And I reckon we slightly flatten it out a bit. And then smoothing... Oh, no, undo that bit. And then smoothing this, going back. This makes it a little bit easier to smooth them. Now, it doesn't mean some of this is completely out right now. I also like the idea of it being a little bit hanging over the edge. I like that idea. We just got to sort out this elevation change for this. So I reckon we can do this in underground. The node's just there. So come out of underground. Bring that down. There we go. Maybe slightly the same with this one. Not by much. Bring it down. And then this road. So this road here will obviously come across, and I reckon we'll then make it go parallel to this going down this way. And we could end it somewhat around here or something like that. I'm not too sure just yet. But we'll have to elevate that and connect it in. If I just delete it for now. Just delete it for now. Smoothing all this out. There we go. So I like the idea that you're able to see the train line here. That's what makes it quite exciting for me. And I've done it. And the reason I've done it this way, and I'll explain it in just a moment, it's quite a smart reason to why I've kind of made this train loop so long. Because my slight worry is that people will start using these to export the goods. Because I did want an import-export area within this. I can still place one in. But because then when I drive here, it's a longer train track to kind of get out rather than just a straight run. They'll most likely use these to kind of export the goods a little bit easier. Kind of. A little bit. But yeah, I kind of also want to create a kind of like an import-export area in general. Now my options are dropping something like this down here. So if I threw you in just there, for example, I can then run my train line to kind of connect in like that. But you've got to kind of slightly, you've still got to slightly bow it out to make it look good. Right, there we go, there we go. So it all runs nice and smoothly. I think we might need to either smoothen the area or slightly raise the area. What do you reckon? Do we need to slightly raise this? Only ever so slightly. And maybe the road. What are we saying there? So for now, that's where it is. Obviously, the road's going to pass over and we'll have more connections to that road for all this kind of stuff. We'll have little connections or something there that maybe goes underpass to kind of get over. So it makes this a little bit more accessible. And this is obviously going to be a little bit of a loop back on itself. You know what I mean? It will eventually integrate itself quite nicely. So we first need to sort out all of this, which is going to be the zoned goods to begin with. So forestry. We're going to have farming. We're going to have ore. And then finally oil. So this is mainly for the goods over on this one side. We can throw in a few additional warehouses to kind of slightly help us out. Where we can have some like commercial goods or something like that. So if I went straight in the middle there, what can I squeeze in both sides here? So there and there. And then this one can store generic commercial zone goods. We can also store fish, which is also a pretty sweet one. So fish or unique factory products. We don't have any fish at the moment. So I reckon we just keep that one empty for now until we do get some fish locally stored nearby. But that's quite an important area anyway. Put a lot of stress on these junctions until we've got this road that kind of completely comes over and overpasses and kind of connects in down to there. It'll be like a really, really cool... I won't connect this to the highway either. We'll keep that separate. And then... I don't know whether we'll have like a small little kind of connection around here. Like another little trumpet somewhere. I don't know. Because it's kind of dead on this side here. I can't really build much, so there's no reason to have an overpass over. It's going to be a trumpet, if anything like that. Another loop here. It's a bigger loop than that one. Not to say that's going to be another stadium. No. I don't know what I'll put in there. It'll be kind of interesting to see what we kind of do. But this is looking pretty good anyway. It is looking pretty good. We'll quickly run some water down them. So down to there and then in. 22. Bam. So nice little connections. There we go. And we'll give them some power as well. So even though we're not really doing anything, at least they can utilize our little kind of cargo area. At least we can utilize that for now. So a little bit of power then. And we'll drop some wind turbines. Did just spread it from over here? So a couple little wind turbines for now. Until we connect the power up a little bit better. So, got the power, got the water. We should see some trains. Leads all the way down as well. Exciting. Very, very exciting. I like how it digs into it as well. It kind of, you know, it reminds me, you know, it makes me feel like they actually kind of trenched this out to build the train track. But, pretty sweet, baby. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So, next episode then, boys, we are going to be building the whole of the industry for our forestry. I'm quite excited to see how this is going to turn out. There's going to be a lot of work involved, but hopefully we got all the infrastructure correctly in place. They seem to be using this quite a bit as well, so we're going to have to sort this junction out with double lanes and making sure we've got all the turnings all correctly as well. We're going to have to also extend the highway to kind of connect to here, so they don't all use this, and it's not treated as a complete bypass to get through the area a little bit easier as well. But this forestry area is definitely going to come together. There's currently 40 jobs available. That is just mainly from the main building. But there's nothing currently going on right now. There's nothing currently going on. They're using it to import and export the goods, but again, it's going to put a lot of pressure on this junction, which is why we need some underpasses to kind of access these areas a little bit easier too. And also this big 4-lane road will be one of the main roads they use, because I want to try and filter them all to the roundabout, because that disperses the traffic left, forward and right a lot easier as well. So I've got the plans, we just have to implement them. We just have to implement them right now, and it has really died down the traffic for the shipping area over here. So hopefully they're going to be using more of the... Oh, there's water in here. More of the train lines over there. So we'll have to wait for a lot of this to all evaporate. The water is evaporated from this one, so I can get rid of it. It's evaporated just there. Still a little bit in just there right now, so we'll kind of wait out. And we're going to try and figure out then the best way in which we can add a slight little water source to trickle down. I've got water in here right now, which again is going to take a while to evaporate all of that. But that's how I want it to look. I want the water to kind of slightly sleep through and maybe build a dam at a higher point. But I'm hoping the dam doesn't push too much water through as well. I wish we could control the flow of the water, the dams. Don't you think that would be a cool feature if you built a dam and you can adjust how much water it flows through? And obviously the higher you set it, the more electricity it obviously produces. That would be pretty cool. It'd be a pretty sweet way to kind of control our levels. But it looks a little bit of a mess right now, but there is method in this madness. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, guys, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.